Dusty here, and welcome back to another crypto live stream. I hope that it's all going well. I haven't live streamed in a little while, so it's, it takes a little bit of getting used to again, but damn, it's been a real interesting last couple of days. Right now, I also hope that I have the right thumbnail. I'm noticing the thumbnail is wrong in a couple of places, so hopefully you guys can confirm that we have the proper thumbnail. On my phone, it says it's like another Pintu thing, but I think, I hope at least that we have the right thumbnail. Let me check my other phone. Where is it? Let me see. All right. No, it says we have the right one. All right, guys. So today there's two things which I want to share with you all. One is a little list for everybody of coins that I think are really freaking amazing right now. None of these coins are small, though. They're already really big, really established. I'm just focusing on them a lot more right now. I want to share that. And in about 2 minutes from now, the, I guess, the BIT related coin is launching. And I of course, want to show and watch basically that with you guys here as it happens over on Bybit. And usually it's an interesting little event. So in total, there was $500,000 that was given away to people, or basically that could have been quote unquote bought. How did you get this? Well, we've covered that about, 10 times already in videos by now. But all we had to do is basically get ourselves an account over on Bybit, of which the link is down below. Let's see here. And what we basically had to do was stake BIT. And then once we've gotten that BIT, we get the SIS, or at least we can buy it for pretty free. So yeah, how you buy it? Well, it's $1 per SIS. The average amount that people gotten was about 11, and that's because the total amount locked up of BIT was 108 million. So if you only had, for example, you got to consider, right? This basically means that people went into this project with 200 in total, 280 million dollars. So if you went in with 1,000 to stake your BIT, obviously you're not going to get the biggest amount of SIS. Then again, a couple of these are most likely whales, and the max is kept at 500, but it's a way off, right? So if you're wondering, oh, I joined, but I didn't get that many coins, it's still basically free money the way I see it, because I already hold BIT. I'll never tell somebody, go buy a lot of BIT purely for this one drop. Same thing for all my 100x gems that I show. If you buy into a specific launch pad purely for only one drop, I'm not sure if it's always worth it. Sometimes it won't be. But the idea is, hey, this launch pad will continue on for a longer while. I'm basically going to involve myself with them for the medium to long haul. And I think it will be worth it, because most of the time it really is. And with BIT/Bybit, I think it's exactly that way. So officially, by the way, guys, let me know in the chat box if you're watching. Just say hi or say hello, because I see 3 people said something. Can you guys just quickly say yes or hi in the chat box? And it is officially supposed to launch right now. So, And yeah, I'm going to make another video about the solo airdrop, because man, oh man, Sologenic is pumping up like crazy. Okay, let's actually open up Bybit though. Let's see if we can find the SIS pair to see how the price is doing. Sometimes it takes a couple of minutes for it to load in. Like right now, for example, I can't even, okay, this is perpetual. Let's go to spot. Let's go to whatever BitDAO, and then change this over into SIS. There we go. All right. Okay, so the starting price was $1, guys. We've already moved to about $4.20, so times 4-ish. And once more, I see this as basically free. Very often, what we've seen with these other projects, it goes to about times 25 or so. But then again, you got to consider that it already started out with a pretty high market cap, because of course the allocation for the people was already $500,000. So it's a pretty high market cap from the get-go. And the fact that the majority of people basically have an easy, I want to say it's pretty easy access to this when it compares to a lot of others. Makes it not one of our 1,000 or 100 or 500x gems, but still, it's pretty nice to see this move, and pretty nice to, even what I think, guys, I think it's even nice to buy in at like these early cheap prices. Right now, we've already gone 50% up over the last minute since I just showed it to you guys. But I do think it will do better even over the next couple of days, purely if we based upon the different coins that we've gotten on this launch pad. Because consider, if we go back here and look at some different coins on the launch pad, let's go here. We can check that I think the majority of these CBX, Gene, PTU, they all did pretty well over the next couple of weeks. Specifically Gene, which I told you guys about. I think that one did the best over the next subsequent couple of days. As these have all launched, of course, one per week basically. At least here there's a little split, but I think maybe one per week is now going to launch, and I'm just going to join all of them, guys, as I've said to you before. It's one of the easiest ways to make profit. Right now we're at $7, so about 7 times gains on this coin. What's up, everybody? Welcome, welcome. Are you doing a live stream for Aura today? Yeah, guys. So if you're watching this right now, make sure you press that like button, because I see we are at about 10 likes right now. Guys, if you come into one of these streams and you like what we do, or you like the live streams in real life, make sure you also press that like button to help the live stream out and to show that you appreciate it. But yes, there's another launch coming, and you can actually see that in my Altcoin gem information Telegram. I made this one purely to update you guys with all the different things, and there's a little bit later today, in about 3 hours from now, if I'm not mistaken, gonna be another launch, Operon Origins. That is a gem that's a little bit better. I'm hoping is gonna be like a 100xer. That's gonna happen in about 3 hours from now. This is our quote-unquote less exciting one. Ooh, I just got a new press. I'm just screenshotting my thing real quick. I just got a new press release from my app here. I'll talk about that a little later. We have some more stuff to say about that. So today the plan is to actually watch this launch first, because it's rather interesting. Then basically kind of get you guys in on what altcoins I'm looking into right now. Then moving on into what's going to happen a little bit later today with the Operon Origins. And then I have a couple of other videos coming out. And there's one that's definitely going to be about the airdrop for Sologenic, because I saw there's still some confusion about it. So I want to make another little quick update basically on how everything works in the easiest fashion possible, because that's once more free money. I might combine it with some other airdrop information. And then also somewhere, I need to kind of just... It's hard, but I need to give you guys a little new overview of all the 100x gems that are launching in December, because there's like 10 of them or so. December is going to be a crazy, crazy month. And I already told you guys, November was one of my best months ever. I think my best month ever. I think December is going to even break through that. Even though Bitcoin doesn't necessarily have to go so bullish, with all the gems which we are joining before they launch, things are going to go crazy in December. However, since a couple of you guys cannot join them, and you guys said, please, just share with those coins that are already launched, that are already just available to buy, but less profitable, I, of course, will do my best in that regard as well. What time is it where you are, Dusty? I'm in Dubai right now. It is 4:05 p.m. VR launch in an hour too. I'm not sure what VR launch is. What you're talking about? Oh, where are you guys watching from right now? What part of the world are you guys watching from? And quickly put, what do you mean, Brian? What do you mean VR launch? What is that supposed to be? Opinions on VET? Yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. Oh, VR is on KuCoin, looks sick. I don't know that. I see MC is launching on Binance Merit Circles. Play to earning. You know, so a lot of people ask me, is it worth it to join a launch all the time? Let me say it like this. If it's a smaller cap, so if the market cap is rather small and it launches with some proper studios backing or proper investment firms, I would always say try it with, not significant, I wouldn't say, put $50,000 into every project like that. But I would say if there's a small amount of money that you can buy into, that's kind of logical, then almost always try it. Because let's say only 1 out of 100 work, the return is very often times 100. So you only basically need 1 in every 80 or so to work out, and you'll make your money back. So from that perspective, yeah, very often it's a good idea to just buy into it. Doesn't always work, but yeah, it's just one of the easiest ways to make juicy gains right now. And I would say buying coins before they launch is the best investment strategy in 2021 for getting extremely rich. Extremely rich, because it's literally possible to get just insane. How much BIT should you buy to get 500 SAS? All I can tell you is do some calculations, because I have absolutely no idea. It's very difficult to actually, I think it's also difficult to calculate because at the end of the day, there was 108 million BIT committed, over 44,000 people. Yeah, so that shows you what the average amount of BIT is per person. And that also means with that average would have come out to about 11 SIS. So to get to 500 though, I think it's just a trial and error type of thing. The more you have, the more likely. But I'm not exactly sure what the way off is because let's say a person, right, has let's say this 100 million out of the 108 was actually put in by 5 people. Their maximum per person was still 500. So I'm not sure if all that then gets thrown out the window. Basically meaning if you over allocate, it still shows towards the committed amount, which makes things a little bit difficult to calculate. So I don't know. But you do need a good amount of BIT to actually get 500 SIS. Jared says, what do you think about, I don't know that. When comes the oral contract address? I'm new to this. I have no idea. Just wait for it. Once more, what you might want to do is join the Altcoin gem info telegram. I'm going to share it in the, I will share it in here. Let's see. Gem telegram. So you guys can actually join that too if you want to. There's 3 telegrams. One is purely for whenever I upload a video. I try to share it in there. 2 is this gem one, and 3. Bossman D says 10K BIT for 17. That is, wow. That's $25,000 for only 17 coins. That is not so juicy, my friends. That is not so nice. But I guess it's also the more popular it gets, the more you have to stake. You know, it's the way that the circle moves, indeed. Let's see. Watcher from Germany. Come on, XP. Let's have the big end of the year. Yeah, I'm hoping that XRP, huh? I hope that this is still going to be an exciting year for XRP. But today, let's talk about some juicy coins. So it's right now averaged out at about $5.50. Let's just go on with our flow for a little bit, and then we'll come back to this and see how it goes. Because this is not really indicative of where it's going to go over the next couple of hours. Last time, for example, we saw a bigger pump at the start, and then a really big dump, and then like 3 times this big pump over the next couple of hours. Let's just talk about some of our coins that we like. I also had this article about XRP. I might actually make some more videos today because I have just so much stuff to share. But once more, guys, if you're interested in these 100x gems, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. And it is also, in my own opinion, a pretty smart idea to subscribe to the channel as... Wait, I just said that. Never mind then. So, yeah, we'll keep it at that. All right. If we're talking about categories of cryptos, which I am most excited about, just being completely open and honest with you, I think the most excited I am about Metaverse. Second most excited is about DeFi if you're actually utilizing the DeFi. I talked with a lot of big investment firms, some of the founders of those, and what they say is a lot of them actually only go for layer 1 projects. So a lot of them don't even go for things like a Polygon, for example, or anything that's on the XP Ledger or something like that, or anything that's on Polkadot. They wouldn't work with that. They only go for the top layer. But what they do involve themselves with, some of these guys, is heavy staking. And what they, for example, then do, this is actually kind of 2 different streams of people, but what a lot of them try to do or like to do is they basically have a lot of money in Tether or in a specific token that's... For example, even a Polkadot could work. What they do, and this is one of the guys that I know, right? He has, for example, let's say 500,000 Polkadots, so let's say about $25 million worth. And oh no, it's not anymore 25 million. Let's say it's about $17 million. Pick something. I'm not exactly sure its value of 500,000 Polkadot is 17 million, 18 million. And what they do is they stake it fully. Why? Well, because the return on that is so insane, and it's a money makes money type of thing, though. Same thing for some of these launches nowadays. It's like you need some money to actually get a juicy amount of coins to make more money. It's just stupid. So that's why I'm not really sharing that with you guys anymore right here. But I do love the coins which have the capability to stake, even like Axie or so, because some of them have like a staking return of 130% or let's say 60%, 40%. And even if you have a little amount of money, it's a percentage game, right? So even though if you started with $1,000, you're not getting rich off of something like that, because if it's going to be a 40% gain a year, You're not all of a sudden getting crazy rich. It's a percentage game that is still insane. A lot of people forget that's a thing. So I do like those coins which have the DeFi capabilities, basically. Mostly because there's a huge appeal for it, and if you want those coins and you hold them, well, you get basically a return on those for free. So that's a little side note. And then I guess my number 3 sector, right? I'm just talking about sectors now before I move over into these specific coins, are the exchange tokens. That is like tokens like BNB and FTT and Crypto.com. All those tokens where you're just basically pretty certain that as crypto gets more popular, these coins cannot really fail anymore. And then there's, of course, tokens here and there, coins here and there, like an XRP, like a Chainlink, like a Cardano, that you're just pretty certain will do well because of the way in which they were built, and they're also pretty undervalued in that sense. But that's a different category of coins, because an XRP, a Cardano, a Chainlink, we've talked about those so many thousands of times before. I think you guys all know them, but I think they're a different breed because they're not so necessarily hyped up or crazy meta right now. They're just coins which have done extremely well in the past and will, in my opinion, definitely do so again. But they're not really a surprise, I think, to most. I think the more so surprising and more unknowing factor right now is the metaverse, as they have basically a more potential to really amaze and surprise people, if you guys get my drift. Somebody says staking on Wonderland is around 87,000% APY right now. Yeah, some of these projects, by the way, whenever they start up, they have like a crazy percentage and it just goes down gradually. Could be. Some of them are really good, some of them are really bad. It depends. But a lot of the coins which I see you guys state right now, I don't have, I don't care about, I don't hold. Let's see here. Dusty, this is my first launch. My freaking pants off. Thanks for your updates. Yeah, I guess it wasn't the craziest launch ever. It's only ×5 or something like that. But it might go crazy over the next couple of hours. It's interesting to see. Let's talk about these 2 little articles I have. 4 altcoins to watch closely in December. From metaverse to sports tokens, there's something for everyone in this month's list. We have Engine, LivePeer, Elrond, and Chiliz. So let me quickly talk about all these coins. Engine is by far one of the best coins to have in a portfolio together with Sandbox and Decentraland, because they're literally the core of the metaverse. They are literally kind of like the starting platform, so to speak, Engine. And so it's very, very solid crypto to have. We were really excited about that when we're talking about NFTs, but now about metaverse too. So Engine is like one of the easiest bets. LivePeer is never on my list, but another term that's being bandied about is Web3. And this is another trend to pay attention to, as Web3 is an umbrella term for the next generation of decentralized internet that doesn't rely on 3 or 4 massive companies. There are a number of Web3 projects that decentralize the way our information is stored, shared, and monetized. And one of that has performed really well is LivePeer, a decentralized video streaming network. So the reason I'm not really too excited about LivePeer myself is because what they do, there's like 1,000 different projects of that have kind of like the same purpose and the same idea. And so I always find it difficult to know which one is actually going to pop off until they do. So with the LivePeer, it's like it's really a guessing game with the mana and whatnot, all those that we mentioned before. They don't really have to get massive adoption for them to actually keep doing extremely well. With LivePeer, they do need that. And so I'm like, LivePeer is a little bit more of a risky coin, so I wouldn't put that in my top list whatsoever. But these guys did, and that's just my thought. Elrond Gold is also not one of my top projects for right now. I hold it. I've been really bullish on it. But I definitely wouldn't tell people to go that heavy on this project all of a sudden, or that it's my number 1 gem, craziest altcoin for the next couple of months. No, let's just be realistic here. Elrond is just a really solid project, really new as well, really fast, really scalable, whatever you want to call it out there. But it's not that special in any way, shape, or form. So it's just another platformer, period. Yeah, they're good, but not that amazing. And Chiliz is, I guess, you can definitely put that on the top list in the sense that they are one of the biggest guys in sports and fan tokens, so sports cryptos and whatnot. So the reason I do have it pretty high on whatever list I put up is because even though it's right now not one of the most exciting cryptos, it could be the next fad. It could be the next trend. So it went from, I guess, DeFi to, no, it went from, I guess, ICOs first, then to DeFi, to NFTs, now to Metaverse. It could be that the next hype is going to be fan tokens. And if that's the case, then Chile's going to have some crazy surge. And that could be at any point, right? So from that perspective, it is a nice one to have. And I would indeed say, yeah, to kind of, if we want to go per sector and get some coins in every different sector, the whole sports realm, it's like mostly touched by Chili's. It's like really the core of it. So it's not that stupid, I think, to have yourself a good chunk of coins. Then I saw our biggest friend, Mr. Big Boy, say 5 altcoins to buy for this bull run. YouTube's top crypto influencer BitBoy shares the biggest bets he's making to the final quarter of 2021. He's basing himself the last quarter and the first quarter of 2022. He's holding 5 altcoins that he believes will see big price surges when the bull market takes place. And he says he plans on selling 80% of his positions once he sees peak price points, which is always interesting. So we have FTX token, Thorchain, Avalanche, Ethereum, and Polygon. Long story short, I agree, except, let's say I hold all these coins. So FTX token, I've told you guys, is within my little bracket of exchange tokens. It's just smart to have from the perspective that it'll just keep getting more popular. FTX US right now has been working with NFTs, and this coin will most likely, from that perspective, just keep going on piece by piece. Same thing for Crypto.com, same thing for BNB. But I think they're all kind of in the same line, though. It's not really one over the other. Then we have Thorchain. Can't really say that I would ever put that in my top list. It says here it's because they're launching their main net or move to its own chain. Armstrong said the switch is currently estimated to take place in the first quarter of 2022. And he has a point right there. I didn't really know that. If they have like a big event like that happening in a couple of months, very often it's nice to just buy in anticipation, because if that happens, the price does often pump. Same thing right now for Sandbox, for example, where the big event was happening 29th of November. Yeah, people will get that, people will notice that and buy the rumor, sell the news, kind of. But very often, people seem to forget because it's so many months away. And then when it's really announced, once we get closer to it, the price does do really well once more. So from that perspective, that's a really juicy one. And Thorchain/Rune used to be a really big project anyway. Then we have Avalanche. You guys have most likely heard me scream about Avalanche like 1,000 times already in the past. It's one of my best cryptos. I believe AVAX and Luna both will be $60 billion cryptos by at the end of the year or really, really soon afterwards. And we made that claim before they had such crazy pumps. I still believe, honestly, so. And Kerry says, bought 15 WinkyBot NFTs. Ooh, interesting. Lewis says, my first launch too. What kind of price action do you think we'll see in the next couple of hours? I have no idea, Chef. It's what do I think? My bet is as good as yours. There's literally no line to be put through this. There's no logic. You can't even, this is supply and demand in the most pure form. Nobody knows where it's going to go because it depends on everything. Kryptonite says, did you sell your SAS, or are you looking, or are you holding it onto it? What price would you sell at? I don't sell those launches, guys. I buy them and I hold them for a longer time, seeing what happens. I don't sell those. And the fourth pick is Ethereum. I definitely would not agree with that. I think Ethereum is going to do really well, but I don't think Ethereum is really a juicy coin to buy for like the 10x your portfolio, yada 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 type of stuff. I think Ethereum is a solid pick if you're already pretty wealthy and you just want to keep it that way, or you want to diversify your portfolio basically into crypto. Ethereum, very, very nice because it's so safe and so solid. But if we're talking here about people want to turn $1,000 into $1 million this year or so, Ethereum is just not a coin that I would pick personally. Yeah. Do I have Ethereum? Yes. But I don't expect it basically to go as crazy as some of these other coins. And then Polygon, it is a very, very nice one. As I said before, a lot of my institutional friends, they don't actually buy into that type of stuff, into the Polygon realm. For good reason so, because they think it's way better to buy any layer one with the actual, where all the reliance is basically on itself rather than relying on something else. But Polygon, we've talked about before, good progress, solves a real clear problem. Interesting, let's say it differently. Huge demand that we all understand and find it logical. But once more, I'm not sure exactly what the roof for Polygon is going to be. Like, how high can it go? Do I think it can still pump, let's say, 10 times within a year even? Yeah, easily. It's not even too hard. But it's also not one of my best picks in that regard. My best picks right now are definitely all metaverse related. So if we're honestly talking, it's either metaverse related or we're talking older altcoins that I've held for a long time that will just go and search for some specific reasons we've discussed. With Chainlink, it's because people are undervaluing it like crazy because it's like the integral part of the entire DeFi realm, but people forget it. Cardano because they're so extremely undervalued. XRP because they're being sued, and so that's going to be one of the craziest pumps of 2022, I think. So that's like one part of things. Then we of course have the other one, which is the exchange tokens, as I said before, and then the other one being the metaverse tokens. It's like my three sectors, and it's hard to say which coins. It's like there's so many. But the ones I would think would do really well: XRP, Avex Terra. Those I'm so excited about. ADA is because they're so undervalued right now at like 168. That is insane. So I definitely would go crazy for those. Crypto.com, I just got a good stash of it. I'm not exactly sure when the time is going to be because they just had a huge amount of crazy events. Longer term, though, this one is always juicy to buy. As I said before, Chainlink is a really extremely undervalued coin as well. Mana is one of my top coins. VeChain is one of my top coins. It's such an interesting little space right now. Sandbox is one of my top coins right now as well. And you guys most likely have seen it more in my previous altcoin gems and whatnot. Engine is super solid. Cadena I've stored up on more because of you guys, and I'm hoping that one's still gonna pop out. But there's so many good altcoins, guys. I also hold Quant. I also hold Harmony One. I hold so many. Often people criticize me for holding so many altcoins, but it's like if you just are, that a lot of things will do really well, and you don't know which one is going to do the best. It's best to kind of spread it out over things which you think will do well, rather than just going all in one and maybe missing the boat. If you guys get my drift. Brian says, in his article, it says Bitcoin's top holding is ETH. But Ben said a bunch of times ADA was his top holding. Who can you believe these days? I think ADA is properly valued for what they offer right now. You could say they were overvalued before and have simply corrected to where they should be. That's definitely an interesting opinion to have. I would not agree with you, but I understand what you say. I think with ADA, they were definitely, the surge that they had was kind of unprecedented because it went so fast, so quick. ADA all of a sudden third position. But in the way in which they've been bashed right now and are being feared, I don't think is fair. So I also don't think that the value right now is fair because I know what brought it here right now. And I just don't think that's logical. Same thing for Solana. When Solana went down to about $120, $140 again, because they stopped basically because their whole mainnet basically had some errors. I told you guys all it's undervalued because it should go down the price, but not as much. And that's what we saw happen a couple of weeks later. The price all of a sudden doubled within a couple of days because people all of a sudden noticed that, and the big guys start to catch up on that and buy in. Right now, I think the same situation goes on for ADA, basically. All right. But again, it's a time thing. You know, we'll see it go in due time. It's not a difficult process either. It's like we just have to wait. So it's not a really confusing thing or anything. Kryptonite says, whenever coins hit a new exchange, there's always a pump. Is there a website that tracks new exchange listings? Kryptonite, that's an interesting question. But in the way in which you're phrasing it, you're already in the wrong side because the moment that it's announced is the moment that you can buy into it. So the moment it hits a place like that, you're too late. Because if you're going to buy something the moment it hits an exchange, it doesn't pump because it hits an exchange, maybe for like 5 seconds. But usually the price pump is because of the announcement. You know, people buy the rumors, sell the news. So yes, but no. And yeah, you can just look it up on the internet maybe if it is. But even then, I don't think that's going to be very useful for you. But you try you. Maybe it works. All right, I just got the notification on my phone that SAS has gone live. A lot of people most likely got the notification now too. It could be that all of a sudden now they're going to start trading. Could be that the price even goes down. I'm not sure. And by the way, whatever we're seeing right now in terms of price action is not necessarily indicative of what's going to happen in the near future. We've seen that over 100 times by now that people think that, oh yeah, it's gone pump and dumped. It's now over. But very often it just over a medium term just continues on. So it's really hard to say where it will end off as well. And there's most likely going to just be more of these coins like every week or so, you know? But I'm also thinking about that. It's like, if you missed the boat just now, oh, boo-hoo. Well, we'll get another coin tomorrow. And at the end of the day, it's like still free juicy gains. Maybe not the craziest, but it's still absolutely, basically, in my opinion, free to get these and pretty damn simple if you're already part of Bybit anyway. Right? With me, it's like, why is the I find this annoying. Why is my thumbnail a little bit... Guys, could you actually go to my profile on YouTube and tell me what the thumbnail looks like for you? Because for me, this is what it looks like. But this is the previous one. But if I look on my phone, it shows the proper one. Can you guys just quickly check for me what thumbnail you guys see? Can you see this one or a different one? When I was trying to change the thumbnail, it says, you have overdone your limit or something like that. I'm like, what in the world is that supposed to mean? But that's also the one you guys got? Really? For me it says, look. For me it says that this should be the one. So I'm not exactly sure what that's supposed to be then. Let's try it again. Let me change it again. Let me try. Ah, okay. And by the way, guys, if you do not, because the last two, why is my channel doing so weird the last 2-3 days as well? Because I've been checking now for the last couple of days. I've had some trouble with doing my thumbnails, but also if you check, guys, if you check my channel a little bit, just check the views from the last couple of days. It's been extremely low, and I don't mind, but it's like, why? What makes it happen? It's not like I do really, I post really different stuff. So I'm wondering, like, why all of a sudden did the views change so dramatically? Over the last 2 days, to be exact. Very interesting. But at least you guys are still here, so I still appreciate it all. Don't get me wrong. But that is very peculiar. Very peculiar. Huh. All right. So my plan, by the way, guys, is to share with you all a I'm gonna do another live stream in about 2 hours from now when we basically get the launch for Operon Origins. That is a 100x gem that we're hoping is gonna go nutty. It was not easy to buy into it, but I just want to show it the live stream because it's pretty exciting, I think, to see how crazy it goes. Our last coin did what? I'm not exactly sure anymore what the last coin was. I think the last one was Lovelace about 8 days ago. It did do pretty well as well. So I'm hoping right now the Open Origins is also going to be going as insane. I really, really hope so. Daddy Gary is watching you. That might be it indeed. I talked bad about Gary Gensler, guys. Now I have to sit for my sins. Ah, that makes sense. Dusty, it's because the quality of the videos suck at 144. I can't read the text you put. Everything's out of focus, and YouTube cannot increase the quality. Okay, so I understand. Some people say that, huh? If I go to my live stream right now, my live stream is 1080p, and I can literally increase and lower the quality. So I think you're either not sure where to press or wrong, because it's fact that you can't change it. We've had like 1,000 people dispute that. I do stream in HD, but not. My videos normally are 2K, but the streams are always 1K, or what is it called? I don't know, like 1080 by whatever. Is that 2K? I don't know what the world is. If you know where to press, I'm checking it right now on my phone, and we've had like 1,000 people verify this. It is 1080p. There's no question about it. If it shows up for 144, it might be your internet. Not exactly sure what else to tell you. Yeah, you don't need to send me screenshots, bro. I cannot change it for you. It's you, though. Just understand, if you have a bad connection, it's on your end. Because everybody can watch this video at 1080p. Because it's been verified. You know, I can literally press on my phone right now, go to quality, go to advanced, and press 1080p. I'm not sure what to tell you. But I understand. Some people have said it before as well, but I'm not sure what to say on that. Yeah, it's been interesting. Interesting last couple of days. And Dason, I believe what you say about your connection being good and whatnot. I'm just telling you the connection issue is on your end. Doesn't mean your connection is not fast. if it's showing 144p. Just know it's on your end that the problem lies, not on my end, because I'm streaming at 1080p, and theoretically speaking, anybody should be able to change it to that, right? So if you cannot, maybe your internet is really fine, but you just cannot change it for some reason, but it's on your whatever. Hopefully you understand. All right. Somebody says, should I ape into Oro? I don't think so. I don't think that's a smart idea. A lot of these coins are not smart to buy at the start. It's really hard to snipe it, as it's just not simple to do, period. Do you trade Chainlink? No, I don't really trade it. I just buy it. So I'm not sure about that one either. Are you a big XRP believer? Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, what an interesting day as well. Because when I'm looking at these cryptos here, like the crypto market in general, I'm like, it's not really a bullish day, but it's also kind of like not really bad. I'm watching this now. I'm like, it's not really a bad day for crypto. It's not really a good day. It's like right in the middle. Because even if the price has been coming down, like the enthusiasm is still there, and there's no real big incentive for the price to come down, except for some of those announcements, which we do not want to mention out loud, if you guys remember. What I'm talking about there is some of the things which have happened basically over the last couple of weeks. There's some new variant being found. That stuff, the news is basically going really trendy. So I'm thinking maybe that's definitely a cause for some panic and for some prices to come down. But just logically speaking, it shouldn't be the main culprit, basically. It just, I don't know. It doesn't make sense. It shouldn't be the main culprit right now for the price to go down, because that news was already there for so long. So I'm not sure. Whatever. We don't know. Oro, is it a public launch or whitelist? Define what you mean a public launch or whitelist. Are you sure that your question is exactly what you mean to ask? Antoine says, thoughts on Yoshi, been in for a while. Is it like a Mario type of thing, or what is it supposed to be? Media loves the crisis, great for views. That's indeed true. What are your thoughts on True? TrueBit? I don't know. I don't hold. Cardano is pumping? Is it? Wow, guys, look at that, huh? Holy smokes, you're right. 9% up in the last hour. Wow. Should become a fortune teller. Just explain to you guys why I think Cardano is so undervalued. Look at that. Oh, that is it's up a, wow, look at you. Whoa. That is, what is going on? What is this all of a sudden? Cardano putting on the freaking jets all of a sudden. Why? What is this? Why is Cardano pumping so much all of a sudden? What's going on? This is heavy stuff though, because it went from $1.50 to $1.70 in such a short amount of time. That is, it's up 13-14% over the last, like, I don't know, like couple of hours, like last 6 hours or so. It's up like 14%. Look at that volume as well. What is going on here? What in the minute? Oh, the volume is actually not that significant if you compare it to different ADA points. But what in the? Why? Oh, Charles' tweet about DEX being out by Christmas. One of you guys in the chat box just said ADA's biggest thing, what they need right now, is that DEX. Okay, that makes a little bit of sense. Nice ADA pump though, nice. Okay, Sonny says, can anyone buy it, or do we need to be whitelisted to buy it? Because on Twitter they have whitelist links, so I'm confused. So the majority of projects actually work a little bit more elaborately than that, because there's so many different things, and I'm not sure if you're aware. There's different ways in which a whitelist can be utilized. There's quite a couple actually. You can have a whitelist only, meaning that only people who are on the whitelist actually have a chance to buy. You have a whitelist beforehand, meaning people who are on the whitelist get to buy beforehand. People who are not on the whitelist get to buy afterwards. You have a whitelist for with kind of like a lottery system where some people who are on this quote-unquote whitelist get a chance to buy once more, either before or afterwards. Then there's also the question of, is it like whitelist only, meaning there could be that you can only get in because of the whitelist you pay directly, and there's no necessarily a DEX offering or anything like that, because the initial offering basically was the whitelist version. Then afterwards it just gets listed, but even though it's still an IDO, because the initial DEX offering it's like already been distributed, so it's just, works differently. What this is in the easiest sense, people could buy in through every manner I've described in my videos for the last couple of months. I've described that really elaborately. And you can publicly trade it from 3 p.m. UTC today on forward. So you can buy it, sell it in the easiest fashion if you did not get in beforehand. But it will be really expensive to buy it after it's launched. So I can never really say that's a good or smart idea. And this is also a really fun thing that people often say. Yeah, price has gone up. Let's see here. Let's see, for example, KH in the chat right now. He says, so buy ADA. If you're buying ADA right now, think for a little second, guys. You might think, oh, he's a little bit harsh. He's really cracking down his followers. At the end of the day here, I want you to become richer than you are today. So I want you all to think critically here, right? I'm not trying to be the nicest person in the world. I'm trying to be the one that helps you the most. Think for a little second. If you're buying ADA now, once it's gone up about 14% over the last couple of hours, you might make a really good choice, because it could go up more because we have a DEX listing in December. But logic would say, hey, if this thing has already gone up this much over the last 4 or 5 hours, yeah, the longer I wait right now, or if I buy it right now, it is a little bit riskier than buying a couple of hours ago. So what can I tell you then? Right? Yeah, if you want to buy now, you buy now. If you don't want to, you don't, because there's good and bad sides to every decision like that. Sometimes, like when I was earlier in my video shouting that it's undervalued, even though I guess apparently we're already a little bit late to the party because the price is already pumped. It's logical basically to state for these things that you should buy them when they're down and not when they're up. Specifically not when they're up pumping way more than the rest of the market is. But at the end of the day, maybe because of with Thorchain and with this, the price is pumped up, but we know the event is coming up in a couple of months. Some people might forget in the meantime, and then they'll buy it again. With this, in this case here, it's like 3 weeks we have until that date. So it could be that the price will just keep continuing to go up until that point. Cardano is still, I think, a fine coin to get, though. Yes, if you ask me. Dayson is still... Okay, so just checked another couple of YouTube channels, and all our higher resolutions are available to me, but still not available on your channel. You can ignore it and believe what you want. No, I honestly believe you, but I'm just literally unsure what... you know what, Dayson, maybe just contact me, and we'll try to figure out exactly, because maybe more people are having this, like the same issue that you have. I'm just saying, the general line is, I think it's an issue on your end, for my channel potentially, but it's not like that everybody has the same thing. But it could be that multiple people have it, so we might want to look into it indeed. Because I'm so confused with that. Yeah, for me, I'm checking on my phone. I'm checking on my second phone here. It shows that 1080 is fine, and I've never had a problem myself with the 1080. But maybe he's in a specific country or so, or something like that. Jason asks if holding an 150 XRP is okay. So the reason I just said your name is purely because you should never do that. Never put any amount like that down. And also, okay, let me, Jason, let me reflect this thing back to you once more. Am I being the nicest person right now by saying this? No. But I want you to think, right? Hey, Jason, is $1 million enough? Well, maybe. Yeah, maybe no. Define what is enough, right? What is enough? What do you mean enough? Is $50 million enough? Yeah, probably. But for what? You know, to launch 9,000 space operations? No. So what do you mean enough? What is that? What can I answer? What am I holding? Is it okay, you ask? What do you mean okay? Do you mean, is it really risky? Is it really not risky? Well, what can I tell you? Just being completely rational here. Just, think whenever you guys ask me something where I'm not no genie or guru who can give you a freaking foresight answer. No, I mean, I can tell you what I'm doing that has worked for the last couple of years, and I think everybody watching the channel here, or even most people that are in crypto, will definitely become millionaires in their time. But some things I don't really understand why people do that. I do appreciate your questions, guys, but I just don't know what to answer to you. I'm so sorry. So once more, don't ever feel ashamed to ask anything, by the way. If I'm ever sounding like a douchebag, it's honestly because I just want you guys to realize that I cannot really help you with some questions. But I do understand, though. So I do respect if you have a question like that. But I just don't know. And that's why I try to reflect it back, thinking, if I ask you, is $5 enough? Or is $5 okay to hold it? Like, what can you tell me if I ask you that? Hey, man, I have 3 nickels. Should I keep them? Well, I don't know. Maybe. Hey, man, I have $300. Should I, what should I do with it? Well, that depends. Do you need food? What do you need to do? There's so many variables missing then. And Drift King says, no, it's not enough. That also depends, man. I would say anything is quote-unquote enough. Because if you, for example, have $10 free every single month to invest, which is not even that crazy, that some people just don't have more than $10 a month. Very reasonable, right? For quite a lot of people in this world, $10 a month is even something they don't have to invest. So if they have $10 a month, they worked so hard to get themselves 150 XRP, and all of a sudden I'm crushing their dream saying, no, that's a stupid amount, that's too little. Well, what can they do? Right? All of a sudden, they spend 15 months trying to save up for it, and I'm crushing their dreams. Who would I be? What gives me the right to say something like that? No. So any amount is good. Any amount is enough. It just depends on your entire situation. It depends on so many variables that I cannot honestly give you an answer to any of those questions. I think most people, when they ask me, do I have enough? They usually ask with such a high amount, they're just trying to brag a little bit, I think. But if it's a low number, relatively, not sure what to say. What happened to XRP? What do you mean with how? Whatever. Guys, before I go insult too many people today, I guess, maybe I should turn it off. Sometimes people give me the feedback, say, oh, I come to your video and you only insult your viewers. What are you doing? Man, understand, please, that I only wish the best upon you. In no way, shape, or form am I trying to spread harm or spread malice or anything negative. All I'm trying to do, guys, is help you all out with non-financial advice, but I'm just trying to do my best. So if it doesn't suit you, once more, guys, I'm so very sorry. I'm literally just trying to do my best. I don't think these are trolls either, man. Whoa. Hey, guys. I just see another announcement over on Bybit. Really Metaverse on Launchpad. Hey, what's going on right there? What's going on? We just got ourselves, I think, a new coin on the Launchpad. Let's see. Okay, wait. Let me see if I open it up on my phone here. What happens? Let me open it up. Let's see here. Maybe it's just a blog post. Okay, never mind. Maybe they deleted it again. It just said there's a new coin, Really Finance, or really Metaverse, whatever the freaking name was just now. I got the email again. Oh no, it's not an email. It's like a notification on my phone. Really Metaverse. It's time to top up your BIT balance to get ready for real allocation from our latest project. To find out more. There we go. So it's right now on the blog, I think. Let's see if we can find it in here already. Not yet. Let's go to the blog. So this is pretty juicy that we're seeing this live right now, because that basically means I can quickly explain to you guys how this works. So there's a link down below for Bybit, guys. And on Bybit, basically, there's quite a lot of coins that launch, I think one like every week right now. And what you basically need to do is you get yourself some BIT and literally just basically wait. And then you get to buy into the real or whatever project launches. And usually you make free gains. Right here, it was only times 5. I think it will do better in due time. But this one, because it's a metaverse type of project in comparison to the SIS here, it might be better. It says here, traders, it's game on for the Bybit Launchpad. We're pleased to announce a new project. It's now the latest project is now live. Staking from December 5th to December 9th. That's no, it's not staking. That's the snapshot period. So basically what we have is we need to hold BIT from December 5th to December 9th. It will calculate your average amount of BIT. And relative to that, you can buy into this project, maximum $500 worth. Pretty juicy stuff. Yeah, pretty simple. I'll do another full explanation about it a little bit later. That is nice. U.S. residents are not allowed to use Bybit, it seems. Nope. So that's another thing. Most U.S. residents are not allowed to, or I guess U.S. nationals. I'm not sure how it works for residents. I think maybe the same. Jason says, sorry, bro, I'm still a student, but thank you for the response. Thank you for the question still, man. Because as I said, I do appreciate everybody just giving their feedback or asking some questions still. It's all good because it's all for your own learning process. But I just want you to understand that there's some questions I cannot answer. Not because I don't want to, but just because it's nearly impossible. And then I try to answer in a way where you hopefully understand why I cannot answer you or why I will sometimes ignore people if it's a question that's just, that I don't think is very reasonable for me to get. UK can't either. Oh, I forgot about that. But with those US and yeah, sometimes UK things, the US basically has rules on risk. And so a Bybit is a leverage exchange. You can't use it because you can actually basically lose too much money too quickly or make too much money too quickly because, of course, that's a double-edged sword. Same thing for IDOs, ICOs, and all those things. I've made more money with ICOs than I've ever made trading. I've made more money with IDOs right now than I've made with trading. I think, right? I'm not sure exactly what the ones are because trading is obviously just like trading as work, not as holding, because I guess holding is the most lucrative thing. But that's mostly because you can basically, let's say it like this, right? You can sometimes, and this was more so before, buy $10,000 worth of an ICO back in the time and get a return of $1,000. For even now, Elrond, for example, I'm not exactly sure how much you invested, but let's say you invested $4,000. And right now it's, for example, 400,000. If you get that about 50 times all of a sudden, it starts to add up. And the US just kind of prevents you from taking that risk of buying things before they launch to prevent scams. But they also, of course, disallow you to get those gains, which is it's just the way that it goes. There's no way to work around. There's ways to work around it, but not the one that I can necessarily recommend for you. It's just annoying, but... This is funny. Somebody in the chat box said Rabbit Finance, and then somebody else said Rabbit. Just the name tells me to stay away from that. I think that's pretty funny. And Drift King says, I think the problem is that there is such a gap in knowledge and everyone is at a different point in their crypto adventure. That's also true. I mean, sometimes I forget that I've been doing it for so extremely long. Same thing for the YouTube thing. I've doing these daily crypto news things for 5 years now. You understand so much about what's going on in crypto. You understand. I've watched almost every single crypto announcement for the last years, day in, day out. So I understand, for example, when a project is undervalued or when the news is doing something irrational. I understand because it's experience. And when some people disagree, I sometimes think in my head, what is this? Why did they? But then I understand, yeah, it's just because I am so invested basically in the story and I understand it so well that I can understand when some people are newer and they just have questions about these, to me, very simple things. But it's also a process, of course, guys. I'm trying my best to just educate as many people as possible with the knowledge that I have, which was also not perfect, but I just try. And a lot of you guys are always supportive, which I really, really appreciate. You guys are all amazing. Okay, and this one we also get quite often. Kalatai or whatever, I'm not sure how you pronounce that. Kalatai. Just any tips for how to learn / course for trading? My honest recommendation for everybody watching this right now, if you want to learn how to trade and you're buying a course, you are in literal sense wasting money. That does not mean that it's not a good idea though. And that does also not mean that I would never ever sell a course. Don't get me wrong. I am just saying it is in literal sense a waste of money, because every piece of information that you can get in a trading course, you can find for free either on YouTube or in a different course that's for free out there. Why? Well, because there's millions of people who trade, and basically, and there's been so much. Anything you want, you can find on the interwebs. But I would personally say just go type on Google or YouTube how to trade, something along those lines. Watch the first couple of videos to get a good grasp, and then pick up a book. Which one? You type it in and go start reading. If you didn't like that one, go on to the next one. Would you find a good book? Well, there's a couple of people who give me good book recommendations, but I would always recommend is just try some stuff out. Invest, let's say, maybe 20 hours or so into trying some different stuff. If you actually spend 20 hours, for real, like really spend 20 hours researching, and you're not like at the top 1% basically of knowledge in crypto trading, then there's a problem with maybe the way you take your knowledge, because I can guarantee you that you'll be the top 1% of knowledgeable people basically in terms of the crypto trading and whatnot, or trading in general, because at least 99% of the people, they might have traded for way longer, but they haven't done 20 hours of research into how exactly it works. In 20 hours, you can read a couple of books, you can watch a couple of videos, but don't watch other people just analyze stuff. No, watch why they do something like that. If you do that for 20 hours, let's say 24 hours, let's do it, say 1 day straight, without any break, 24 actual hours of actual, knowledge getting in, instead of just like, I watched a couple of videos of, today I'm going to do 1 day of this, and you spend like, let's say 4 hours of actual work. No, I'm talking 24 hours of actual real studying. Yeah, you'll be at the top of the top. But what I can 50-50 recommend is if you watch other analysts, it's definitely good once you've already got a basis, but if you don't know anything, it's not worth your time, I don't think. I think first you have to understand why they might make a choice and then relate further. But at the end of the day, any strategist has a different, strategy. So, but whatever. Guys, that was it for today's video. I'm going to cut it short here. I have a lot of stuff to talk about yet today still, so we'll get to a lot of cool stuff a little bit later. There is so many cool things that have been announced here as well that I want to share. But don't forget, in about an hour and a half or so, we're coming back for another live stream as our Oprah on Origins is launching, and I hope that coin is going to be even more exciting. So if you are interested in these 100x gems, where we basically 100x whatever money we put in, make sure you press the like button on this right now. And guys, make sure you press the like button right now and subscribe for all that stuff. And I'll see you guys again in another video. And also make sure you join the Altcoin gem information group for all information that you need about these gems. And I'll see you guys again in another crypto video later today, everybody.